Levels podcast. I am Justin Horo, joined as always by the Triple OG, Willie Mason.
What's going on?
Hasn't Willie caught on?
I was getting called Willie Mason all the way down to Caxton.
All the Wars fans, you see all the Warriors fans, and we'll
love it.
We hit them up. Before we get to that, actually, the voices are probably a little bit huskier than normal, so bear with us today. We've had a big weekend. We've just been up to Magic Round. It was a great weekend. Shout out to our partners, the Tab, for looking after us. We also did plenty of cool content. There's more to come. We've got a bit of a vlog of the whole weekend. We did some content. Go on the Tab and check out their socials as well. We did some funny stuff with them. Big OG was hurting. A little bit too much magic for OG on Sunday.
I was all right. Shout out to Drip IV. I needed it. I was a bit rattled on Sunday. I'm like, because because one of my mates, Richie Saville, he goes, I know a bloke who does drips. I'm like, fucking get him here. Get him here ASAP. Yeah. So it worked. Yeah. It worked a treat, mate. So I was back out on Sunday. Yeah, you got him up. I was already back out there, but mate, what a great trip. It's the best. What a great round. Yeah, it's the best. What a great round. It was so much fun. It's a different vibe. I said, like, when we were up there, it's like, I've been up there for Origin and all that kind of stuff. It's just love-hate. It's a lot of hate up there, Yes. It's rivalry. You don't really like each other. That's the difference, the rivalry, Everyone's up there on the same vibe, loving each other. There's no animosity. There's no real,
They only hate the teams that they're playing on that night, and then they walk out and they're probably supporting another team a couple of hours later.
The crowd was good. Like, everyone walking up from Caxton and, it was just good energy. It was really good.
Yep. Speaking of the Caxton, thank you to the Caxton Hotel who hosted our potty with the bloody brilliant beers, boys. Yeah. Great setup. Those boys are killing it up there. A lot of love for all those guys. Shout out to everyone we ran into. Hello Sports, Alpha. We've got some the Alpha Blokes podcast. We've also, who else did we see? We've seen Tom and Eddie and the Hello Sports boys there throughout the weekend. Miss Kempy, actually. I didn't see the Beak over the weekend. Too busy, the Beak. He's got much going on.
He's got too much going on.
But yeah, if you were in and around content and, you had to be there. It was the weekend of all weekends for everyone in our game. Oh, Roasty. She caught up with Roasty on Sunday. He is, he's probably on par with Kempy for the amount of commitments he's got and the amount of work he gets through.
They're just non-stop on their phone.
I don't know how they get it all going.
How's he come up with so quick?
So he'll have
he's a genius.
I think he's a lot. He does a lot of it by himself.
Just the memes.
I think you've just got to be ready maybe for potentially both results. So then you just chuck in the scoreline. So there might be a picture for if it hits. So at the start of the game you get a snapshot potentially. But at the end of the day, I don't know. You know how awful I am at what are they multitasking? Yeah. When you try to speak to me when I'm riding, I could never do what they're doing.
No,
because if I'm at the Caxton and I'm watching the footy and there are people around, then I'm zoned in. People will be talking to me and I'd flip over and go, "Oh shit!" What'd you say? But those boys are obviously able to do that, and they do it at a high level. So
there's
that's
a lot of content creators up there, wasn't there? Yeah. I reckon there'll be some good content flying around. Lukey's got a heap of it, so I'll be looking forward to seeing what we did for 3 days because he's always got the camera out.
Yes, he does.
And I forget that the camera's out.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
And so we had a great day. We'd play golf. Where we play golf on Saturday down the Goldie.
All right, so let's give them a shout out. Ivy Blue Rooftop. They hosted us. DJ Tiger Town on the Friday night. Unbelievable venue. More to come with them as well. We're definitely going to be linking up with them again. And
what a great spot!
You walk straight
from Caxton. You walk past Ivy Blue, right?
Yep.
To go down the Caxton, they're in the prime time. You just go straight back in there, and they looked after us.
They were unreal. And when you block it off at the top, that's where all the cabs start. So if you sneak up the end of whether it be an Origin, Magic Round, Broncos game or whatever,
Origin, we're doing it.
We're up there. So more to come on that. Looking forward to that. The Ivy Blue Rooftop. Also, obviously, the Alfred's Apartment Golf Country Club crew, Mitch and Ed.
That was great.
And look who, we did a golf day with them a couple of weeks ago. Did you enjoy that, mate?
Yeah, mate, I loved it.
First time getting amongst it?
Yeah, I haven't played golf in ages. Yeah. It was all right. I hit them all right.
We did a few drives connected to a couple.
It was good the way that we did it. We didn't have to walk 18 holes.
Yeah.
We sat on one hole and just pumped a heap of balls. Good.
Yeah, mate, they do a great golf day, and it was a good little venue for it too. So shout out to them. I think that's it. If we forget anyone, I might remember as we go. But apart from that, all the good stuff as per. Like and subscribe. We're at that 5K plus. We're flowing. People were jumping on board. We're getting so much support. I think, In particular, for me, the bit that stands out the most is how much you got called Widdamoo.
Yeah.
So, like, I've only been saying that for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know.
So to have like a shitload of fans, you know, mind you, we've got a very strong like Kiwi audience that watch us.
Yeah.
It goes back to the Wars and the Warriors chat.
Yeah.
And we're asking the OGs like who's what, who's Warriors, who's Wars. You can see it's the younger generation, right? All the OGs are Warriors.
They don't like it. They don't like the Wars.
And you got a shitload of Widdamoos.
Widdamoo. All the way down to Caxton.
Oh, but what a great weekend. And on that, let's get to the biggest takeaway from round 10, Mace. I'm going to hit you with this. We've been speaking glowingly about everything in and around Brisbane for Magic Round, Suncorp, Caxton Street, Ivy Blue. Mace, the rights to it, Magic Round runs out in 2024. Has to stay in Brisbane, right?
It's got to, man. It's just so. I wouldn't have it in Townsville. Sydney, nowhere in Sydney because you can't be at like a Caxton and then walk down to the game.
Sydney, definitely no.
Sydney, no.
For me, nowhere.
Townsville, maybe.
Townsville, maybe.
Townsville could go off.
Yep.
New Zealand, no, because it's so far away.
What about Eden Park with the Nines vibes that we had back in the days?
Eden Park was great, but like you don't have all the facilities there. You don't. There's no like Caxton. There's no pubs where you can just be drinking at. You can just go and then walk down to Suncorp. Suncorp's like it fits 50,000. People can just pile in there. It's just a good vibe, I think, and it's central.
Yeah.
I don't think. Yeah.
Melbourne could Melbourne do it for us?
No, Melbourne
same
can't
thing.
do it because people won't turn up. Brisbane's the best place. Brisbane's a mecca of rugby league at the moment. So
Correct.
I think we just need to really add on top of that and just be there. Sign another 10-year contract.
Yeah, because we want to be back up there.
I want to be there,
we've got all the links up
and
there.
Brisbane's
as well.
it's just a happening joint.
Yep.
There's rooftop parties going on everywhere. I don't know. It's not far. Like if you're in Townsville or New South Wales or whatever, it's an hour and a half trip.
Yeah, and then once you go into town too.
If you're from Melbourne, you want to go to Townsville. It's a 3-hour trip.
Yeah,
3.5 hours.
that's a good point.
New Zealand, it's too far.
It's a little bit more central to everything,
right there.
isn't it?
And understand that is the mecca of rugby league. There's so many people travelling from all through Queensland, even New South Wales. It's an hour and a half. It's an hour and a half flight. It's nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. That's a good point. And then also...
Plus it caters to everyone. There's bars everywhere. There's good food.
Correct.
There's everything,
5-minute Uber
vibe.
basically to town, isn't there?
Exactly. So I don't think they should change that.
And also, I'll throw this in, Mace. Suncorp, how high would it be there in places to play for you even without Magic? Like, we didn't get Magic Round, right? But for me, it's probably wherever my home ground was that year, and the second place I wanted to play at, despite how good the Broncos were, was Suncorp.
Well, understand this. Sometimes if you don't get to play Origin, if you don't get to play in any big games, and you get to play against Brisbane on the Saturday night, whatever,
Friday night.
That could be your highlight.
Yeah,
because
35,000.
It's going to be like close to 40,000 stuff like that. So you're never really going to get that atmosphere again because it's a great atmosphere. Even the Bulldogs and the Raiders, the first game, I thought no one was going to turn up. There was about 30,000 there.
It was, yeah. It was solid across the board.
Like a good vibe. So, some of these just, not everyone gets to achieve Origin and New South and Australia and semi-finals and all that kind of stuff. So these young kids, that might be the highlight of their career.
That's what it was like for me, mate.
I played in Magic Round, 45,000.
Yeah.
Like if it's a South versus Brisbane, you know what I mean? And both these teams come in 1 and 2 or Roosters or, one of these big top teams. And you're not that dude who plays Origin every year or anything like that. That's going to be your career highlight. Yeah.
Before I played finals at Manly, for those first 3 years while I was at Parramatta, no rep footy, no
grand final,
no finals, no test footy. It was the highlight of my year. Basically, was I love playing at Parramatta Stadium because we obviously got a great home ground advantage. But I was going up to Suncorp and playing at Brizzy in front of 35. So. The pitch held up all right just until that rainfall at the end too. So that was
Sunday.
You'd think there was a lot of question marks around that leading up to it, but I thought it held up all right. And obviously the rain's going to make it a little bit harder for the last
injuries.
2 games.
There was no ACLs or anything?
No major injuries. Yeah, not that I've heard of.
If there was 3 or 4 ACLs, then you're like, let's just maybe go to another venue or something like that or check it because Suncorp was looking pretty shit for the last month.
I was worried about it a couple of weeks ago.
So the Greenkeeper's obviously done a great job up there, and everyone got through, no injuries, so it was a great weekend.
I tell you what, wasn't my dog of the week, which we'll get to, Valence Stefano. He's not the Greenskeeper, or does he do the Dolphins only?
I think he might do both.
All right, so there's a little hint for the dog of the week. But before we get into that, I'll tell you why people also didn't get injured. Because they're probably smacking the high protein from BodyScience. They've got the vanilla flavour there. We have the hydroxy as well. This did well for us as well. We got a little bit of a perp up on the Friday too when we got into it, Mace. You can find both of them. Obviously, we've got the high tasting protein, low carb blend of quality protein within the vanilla flavour, currently available in Woolworths, online at bodysciencebaby.com.au.
First thing I did this morning.
Actually, I don't want to confuse anyone. It's bodyscience.com.au. I don't want people typing in Body Science Baby. And in independent supplement retailers. You got on the drip on the weekend.
I had a drip. First thing I took this morning, no breakfast, straight into the chaos.
Today.
Yeah, just before you picked me up.
Yeah, the hydroxy.
I needed to pick me up.
And that is currently available in Coles, Chemist Warehouse, online at bodyscience.com.au and in independent supplement retailers. And like I said, Mace, the players that need this more than anyone are generally the dogs who are getting after it week to week. So who is your Body Science dog of the week?
My dog of the week, finally. Who do you reckon? He plays for North Queensland. He plays for North Queensland.
There you go. That's too easy. You're going Ruben Cotter.
Ruben Cotter.
Yeah.
They've been down. They've been down a little bit.
They have.
And his form hasn't been. He still rips in all the time. But just watching him on the weekend, they played against the Roosters, man. The Roosters have been going pretty good. They've got a good, tough, old school pack.
Tough.
And they're about it. He played 70 minutes, 18 hit-ups, 140 metres, 36 tackles. It's fucking crazy. But it's the work he gets through. 19 hit-ups, 142 metres, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't take kickoffs. He doesn't do anything like that. They're just through the middle. They're
Tough
off
carries.
the 9. They're off the 9. He's a lightweight for a middle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's going against Lindsay Collins, 110, 115 kilos. Hargraves, 110 kilos. He's a dog. He just rips in. Radley hits hard.
Cheese for a hooker.
Hits hard. Angus Crichton. Yeah, Cheese.
The Butchers.
The Butcher boys want to cut you in half. So, he led the way on the weekend. So, he's my Body Science dog of the week. And I reckon he was the dog of the year last year.
Yeah.
Because he's about that. It was good to see him win.
He loves Magic Round too. A couple of little pieces of meat back to back. Shout out to our friend Drizzler at the tab.
The Drizzle.
The Drizzler got it.
Yeah.
He just got him before. And he mentioned too, because Ruben Cotter is a dog. He remember last year when he played the Tigers and he took it 50 metres to the house, right through the guts.
Mate, he goes good.
And then he gets another little meaty to kick him off in the Cowboys and just, really apply that scoreboard pressure for him as well. So
they were good. They were really good.
Yeah.
Like the Dearden's been outstanding all year. Val Holmes turned up. Their back five was on fire.
I think they all carried for 100 metres, all their back five, so that's a great sign.
Back. He'll be back in a couple of weeks. But it's hard with them. Last week I was off them. Now I'm like, fuck, they just beat the Roosters.
Well, this is why we were 9 weeks in. We're still going. We're only off them in week 9 because this team's too good, and especially when you got a, like you said, a dog like that in the middle. Then
Townsend's the key.
They're capable.
Townsend is the key.
Yeah,
he needs to be like 8 out of 10 every week.
I think their back row's the key. I reckon the last couple of years their back row. So
they've had Luch.
Yeah, Luciano come on at the back end. Obviously, Tommy Gilbert was playing left edge, sometimes middle for him, and there's no denying
Nanai was the best back row.
Jeremiah Nanai caught up on everyone, and then they've got massive raps, obviously, on Hylam Lukey. He had another game back from an extended little stint on the bench, but once he gets back, Cowboys, you wouldn't want to be playing at the back end of the year, especially. Even worse if they're out of contention.
That's that team who can make a run.
They can make a run. Yeah. I thought it was Parramatta, but we'll get to that. All right, my BSC Dog of the week. You know I'm going? I've mentioned. I did.
I got a feeling.
I threw it out, actually. Matas Tafade.
How good's that?
Matas Tafade. If he isn't the feel-good story of Magic Round, look, not crazy big stats, but it was a Magic Round debut. 2 pieces of meat. All the boys were getting around him. Only 10 carries for 91, so not like crazy.
All right, man.
But they were hard-fought meters, especially, to bust through and score that try. Sort of caught one a little bit off guard. Mulatalo comes in, tries to jam him, busts straight through the middle. It's they're calling him, and when I say Matas Tafade, it's obviously Valence Tafade for those that are not following home. They're talking Mel, they're talking Val, they're talking Connie Hurrell sort of vibes.
I'm thinking Connie Hurrell.
Mel's a big one.
Yeah, don't you see Mel? When they said Mel, I said shut up.
I think maybe a few within the inner sanctum are trying to start that as a bit of a giggle. So I will say 5 tackle breaks, so almost 15% of his carries are leading to tackle breaks. And yeah, there was a bit of criticism, right? You know, Matas Tafade has a big game. Everyone's getting around him. He's doing the hucker at doom at the end, which Wayne alluded to. He said, he had enough energy to do the hucker at the end, did he? Wayne's the best.
He's the best.
In the depressor. A couple of misses. I will say for both of those tries, in and around Talakai at the back end, they did get busted through the middle and on the opposite edge before it got to him. So he's basically on the back foot. Yeah, the big fella was sucking it in. And ideally, you'd like him to drop, about 5 or 6 and still keep that power.
Preseason. He's not going to be the greenkeeper next year, trust me. So he can be, he can actually concentrate on getting fit because I rate him. He's powerful, he's strong. He reminds me of like a Talakai.
He's got a bit of Talakai.
It took Talakai a while to get to find his feet.
Yeah, it did. They were throwing him in the back row in that early.
Exactly. So they didn't really know he was going to be a centre, but I just loved when he scored that try, the adulation and how his teammates,
the boys get around him.
The boys got around him and just like they were so proud of him. And I think that was so if he doesn't achieve anything else in his career, which I think he will, that's going to be his highlight
for sure.
Because when he scored that try and the way he scored it, but that every single player jumped on him.
Yeah.
And I love that.
And even the second one, it was, a little bit easier. Shout out to the MILF. Nice little bus goes out the back.
MILF,
gives it to him and fell over the line. But, you can tell he's obviously a character. He's ahead of their content. He gets around and I think he's not only a greenskeeper, but he's the head of content with a funny job. With another Mutters Wallace. They love getting on the camera and geeing the boys up. Have I gone BSC Dogs back to... No, I had the week before was Mutters Wallace. But yeah, I'm just happy for him. It's a great story. People know that he, stepped away. Rugby union guy, had a couple of years break.
How old is he? 22?
Sorted out his mentals. I think he's about 22, 23. I'll get that up as we go. But it's a great story. And seeing the boy, I love. Obviously, I love it when they do the hucker at the end. And they've got all their family there.
Yeah, it's
mad. Valence Tafade, rugby league. He is 22.
Yeah,
so 22. So plenty of time for him to develop his game, like you said.
Yeah, he's got to lose weight. He does.
Yeah,
because
five of the best.
He could be in the back row because like his first defensive decision was like when Mulatalo just smoked him.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? So he can't be getting caught in his chair, so to speak,
But that'll come with experience.
Yeah, otherwise these centres are going to smoke him.
I'll tell you what. So this is good when you put down your measurables. Sometimes I always say this that generally it's front rowers. So whenever they do it, you normally take about 3 to 5 kilos off a front rower, and then when you got small halves, they like to add weight. What do you reckon they got Valence Tafade at on Wikipedia? Mind you, this is Wikipedia. So
103.
They got him as 108.
It's easy 108. He's an easy 108. He'll only be 110 plus.
Yeah, I reckon he's 112. Yeah, I reckon he's 112 the band.
He's very powerful, and if he can just like
peaches and cream,
that's what he is. He is peaches and cream.
He's peaches and cream. 112.
But if he can focus for one preseason,
and
get the best out of himself and get fit, he could be anything. That kid.
He could. Yeah.
So hopefully he's going to have. He's got Wayne Bennett there, so
and Wayne
will hold him accountable.
Wayne was already suggesting that
if he doesn't, he won't be in the team.
Yeah, Wayne was already suggesting after the game too that he's just going to be potentially just a real big game player too. Yeah. So the big thing would be obviously consistency, which comes around with nutrition, training, all that.
Mate. It's all the ones. It's not about playing these days. It's about being professional, which means your diet, all these other things that come into it. So playing would be easy for him.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I think the diet and the training hard would be the hardest thing for him.
Yep.
So that's why it's good having guys like Wayne Bennett. There's a couple of really good guys up there at the moment in the Dolphins facility.
Yep. Benny Tio's up there too.
With the sports science and the high performance, so he probably needs a little bit of help in that area. So good luck to the kid. But I was so happy for him. He's good.
Yeah. Let me just put this on mute as we get on to the next one. All right, let's get into it. My depressor of this week, Mace. So it was actually a tough week to find them. I think they're getting better at it. They know that they're trying to find the weaknesses now. And this isn't necessarily a shot at Hook, but it is Captain Hook himself, Anthony Griffin, who's obviously been under the pump now for weeks. I assumed
thin ice, wouldn't he?
I assumed this would be his last depressor of the year, but he's still got the gig and he is under the pump. Not only with results, but this is from a journalist, and his name, I think his name's Christian something. I heard someone else talk about. So while they were talking, why Anthony Griffin about halfway through the DEPRESSOR, one journalist asked, "I know this sounds blunt, Hook."
Is it Christian Nicolucci?
That's him.
Yeah.
I think it was him. I think it was him. But do the Dragons need a different voice for the rest of the season just to mix things up? So Griffin responded with a slight chuckle and said, "I don't think so, mate. That is blunt." And then someone doubled down, a journalist doubled down a little bit later, like, to Christian's point, are you confident your voice is still getting through to him? And again, this is a little bit like Holbrook a couple of weeks ago when he was on the back end of the worst defeat or the worst comeback in NRL history. There's not really much you can say that is not going to get picked apart. But what about the journos just fucking ripping into him? That's what I wanted to take out of it.
It's weird. Imagine being a coach and then you just got a journo just asking you all those questions. You'd be like, fuck off.
What would you like really? What do you reckon Hook really wanted to say to that guy?
Shut your fucking mouth. Something like that. I don't know. Like they just like shut up. Like
what would you say?
Oh, what's the question?
So the question was, I know this sounds blunt, Hook, but do the Dragons need a different voice for the rest of the season? So basically saying, should he walk?
Well, this is blunt too, mate. No.
Yeah. That's what he said.
Yeah. It's just no. Fuck off.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, they do hold their nerves so good, some of these coaches. But you keep pushing them, and that's what they want, the journos, right?
Correct.
They want that little
This is probably his
clickbait.
Yeah, and to be fair, they still got a response, obviously, because he's got to answer it somehow. But
you know what I love about Wayne? Wayne wouldn't even answer that.
Next.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah,
he
wouldn't answer it. And he doesn't deserve an answer because you don't have to answer everything.
Nah.
You know, it's a stupid question.
Yeah. But even that would then be a headline, right?
Yeah.
If he said next.
Just say next question.
Yeah, Anthony Griffin says next to a question doesn't answer.
Yeah, but like, well, how can you put that? Or just don't say anything.
Yeah. Speaking of who shouldn't be saying anything, CEO of Warriors sponsors one walks back shock cheating claims. So we're filming this obviously on Tuesday. There's been a lot of chat around about it. But basically, mates, let me run it through you. Let me run it
by you
through you. Like fucking the Warriors. CEO of One New Zealand has broken his silence after it was revealed.
So he's CEO of Vodafone. Vodafone One. Is that it?
Vodafone One. Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All
right. So his tweet was originally, "Are you kidding me? How biased are the NRL bunker and referees against the New Zealand Warriors? Have they got money on them to lose? No. It's like we are permanently against 14 on the field, and they want us to play with 12." This is off the back of Jackson Ford went for 10. I think there was one more as well a little bit later on.
Did he deserve to go for 10?
No.
Was it a hip drop?
It's the hip drop shit, so everyone knows how frustrated. If you've been watching this show,
but
Warriors fans,
was
Warriors
it a
fans,
hip drop?
Well, no, not in my eyes, no.
Okay.
No. Not in my interpretation, Mace. My interpretation is way different to what's happening at the moment. So I understand.
Hip drop is nanite.
Yes.
Did it look like that?
I don't want to get into because there's so many variations at the moment. My big one is when the stationary hip drop, you get done.
If you lose, did he lose his legs?
Yeah, they lose the legs. Yeah.
Well, that's a hip drop. That's what's fucked.
Anyway,
the interpretations from the refs, because sometimes I speak to them at training. Like you lose your legs.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where it lands. That's a hip drop.
Yeah. See, I don't agree with that. But that's the way they're interpreting.
Yeah, that's the way. That's the only way they can interpret.
Yes. All right. So that they're trying to what they're trying to do with that statement is eliminate the grey area. But for me,
and that's all they're trying to say. So you lose your legs, hip drop.
Yeah.
That's it. So that's the way. That's the way they can rule it now.
Yeah. All right. And he followed up with, imagine how the team feel. 3 games in 11 days, and then this rubbish, cheating of the highest order.
Bit extreme.
Yeah.
Bit extreme. Bit over the top.
Yeah.
I get it. He's very passionate.
Yeah.
I get where he's coming from, but like nobody's betting on the other teams to beat the Warriors, all right? Let's put that out. It's a hip drop. That's how the refs are interpreting it. So that means you're going for 10.
It's not necessarily just about the hip drop. It's it's across the board. He thinks, and Warriors fans have said for years, there's been.
Of course, I understand that. I understand where he's coming from.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, I'm just like putting it in order. Those two things. That's just like
he followed up
how they're ruling.
He followed up and sort of doubled down as well.
He doubled down, yeah.
I don't mind that. A bit of interest in my support for the mighty New Zealand Warriors. Just to clear things up, I do not think the NRL referees are cheating, even though above he said, have they got money on them to lose?
What I don't agree with is the 3 games in 11 days.
Yes.
I fucking hate that. I do think it's unfair. I think they've got a short memory, what the Warriors did for the last 2 years to keep the game running.
For sure.
I think when they had done the schedule this year, they should never, ever have put those guys in a position like this.
Yeah.
It's pretty shit. They should have had a very lenient round, just a normal round, just normal.
No favoritism, but
maybe one Sunday to Friday.
Yep.
That's about it, but not 3 in 11. That's fucking very taxing. You know
I think everyone agrees that.
The travelling and that. You know what I mean? I said it on, I think I replied on Monty Beetham's thing, and Monty was a bit filthy as well. I said, look, I thought some NRL teams here would have been like, all right, I'll give you our home game. You know, because like you saved the game. Pretty much, but no one gives a fuck now, because everyone's back into normality.
You know
but
why?
I think the Waratahs deserve better.
The Warriors.
Waratahs, fucking hell. See what you got to saying? Wars.
See the Wars?
The Warriors deserve better. The Warriors deserve better because I don't think they should be treated like this.
What, you're not happy with the claps that they gave him walking off the field at the back end of COVID?
Yeah, and it was
that
great.
They used to get. That was
at Gosford.
Thanks, Warriors, as they're walking off the field.
Yeah.
That will do. Yeah, give them a fucking game.
Mate,
they should be given a game.
There should be at least, like, I reckon at least 6 or 7 Sydney teams should have went, here's our home game.
You know what they should have done? And this is maybe, so what? So there's 16 other teams, you break it down in 4. 4 teams for the next 4 years give away a home game to the Warriors. So just say it might be Storm, Roosters, Rabbitohs and Cronulla this year.
And I get it. So,
Manly.
It's costing us money. It'll cost you fucking money if they had dropped out 2 years ago because the game wouldn't have been running. So get over yourselves. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's only, is it what, 100 grand or 200 grand? Give it to the Warriors. Like, they should have done that. I thought most clubs would have done that.
So did I. In and around the time that everyone was talking about how thankful they are.
Thank you.
Gratitude.
Thank you guys. You really got the game up and running. As soon as it was back to normal, they went, fuck it. Let's go. Who cares? Let's get along with everything. So, but that should have been ruled from the NRL. NRL should have come down on clubs and said, out of just say fucking 15 teams, we need 8. We need 8 of you guys to have a home game in New Zealand.
No, it would have to be across the board. You couldn't just say 8 because then it would be unfair for the other 8.
Next you have 8. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, go 4-4-4. Break it up in 4-4 splits.
Something like that. There should have been something like that where they can sort of work it out and be a little bit fair.
Yeah.
Instead of those guys having to travel all the time like normal, they were fucking here for 2 years. 2 fucking years away from their family and everything like that, living out of a fucking suitcase, living in a hotel, traveling from the Central Coast. Imagine living there for a fucking year, Central Coast, and then going up into the bubble.
Nice place. They're in a
Central Coast is boring as fuck. Come on. I'm from fucking Toronto West, mate. It's just exactly like Toronto West. So it's not that good.
Yeah.
I just thought they would have. I thought they would have done better.
What about Central Coast? Copping strays from AG today.
Yeah.
And Toronto West. Yeah.
Toronto West. I know. I'm
the
from
same.
Newcastle. I know exactly what the place is like.
So this is my big thing. I grew up Western Sydney, obviously born in New Zealand, grew up Western Sydney. I bag Western Sydney, but if anyone else bags Western Sydney, then
don't
I come
bag
after
it.
him.
It's
like your brother. Like I rip my brother all the time, but if anyone else bags him, I'm stepping in for him. It's like that.
I'm from Toronto West.
All right, let me get back to the follow-up tweet. So this is a bit of interest in my support for the mighty New Zealand Warriors. Just to clear things up, I do not think the NRL referees are cheating. He tweeted, they come to work every day to do their best job for the game. My comments were made in the heat of the moment as a passionate fan. A couple of the OGs come out and stuck up for him too, and a bit like you're alluding to, Mace. I guess I'm not sure exactly if it was Monty. I haven't seen his comments on it, but I know a lot of people in New Zealand are just... They're frustrated about this for years.
They're frustrated because there's been a couple of games there where they're getting players sent for 10. They're getting the wrong end of the stick, so to speak. So I can feel their frustration.
Yep.
Some of the things, bit out of line.
Yeah, of course.
Very passionate. I love it. I love it. What are they going to do? He's a sponsor. Are they going to sue him for defamation or something?
Well, I think so. Well, if you say, that's
why he's doubled down.
Have they got money on them to lose? So basically
he shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
That's the only thing he shouldn't have said. Everything else he has the right to say.
Yep. How biased is the bunker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything you can say what the fuck you want. Just don't say
it's like we're permanently against 14
about fucking fucking money and gambling on games. Don't say that, mate.
Yeah.
And that's where he's doubling down and going, I didn't mean like that. But he meant everything else.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Stand
basically
by
saying-
your tweet, mate.
He's basically saying, I didn't mean it, but I meant it.
Yeah, I'm just sorry I said it.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's perfect. And speaking of other people that could potentially be sorry, the Roosters have almost... They're saying that it's... So this has been going for the last couple of days, that the Roosters are potentially looking at Joseph SUAALIII moving on at the end of the year.
Damn.
Our boy BA on 360 last night said it was potentially leaked on purpose just to give him a bit of a rev up, OG. So if you're not familiar with the story, there's been a little bit of back and forth that the Roosters higher-ups are looking at moving on Joseph SUAALIII at the end of the year. For those that don't know, he still has one more year before he goes to rugby union. OG. So firstly on SUAALIII, you want him to stay to the end of the year? Do you think his form warrants him moving on at the end of the year?
Just because he's playing... Hey, I don't think all the Roosters boys stuck up for him. They're going, we're not playing that good. You know, like he has... I mean, I honestly don't think he's a centre. Playing wing, I think he's playing out of position. I think because like people can take him out of the game because they just kick to the other side and they let Allen and Jackson Paulo, those sort of blokes come out of yardage. They don't kick that way because they don't want him on play two because they know how hard he runs. Because as a centre, you're not going to go on the other side. But if he's a winger, he can go wherever he wants.
Yeah, that's true.
So if you're a winger, if
his returns were probably his best.
His returns are so good. He runs so fucking hard, and he'll get at the biggest boy on the field. He doesn't care. He has no fear. That kid. Did anyone watch him in that World Cup? For fuck's sake. And he was playing fullback. He was coming off play twos. Even last year, he was just running. But if you can take him out of the game.
So you think he's more of a fullback winger?
I think he's a winger in that team. You're not going to put Teddy anywhere else but fullback. He's the man there.
Yep.
But I'm putting SUAALIII on the wing because he can connect with the other players down there. I mean, he can get there. Just say, especially when Teddy's getting the ball that way, he can run that side. Do you know what I mean? So then SUAALIII is on that second wave. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're ragdolling Paulo and like Corey Allen and all these other blokes, you know? Like,
they're pumping out good meters though, Mace. He's got, I love Joey. And I'm trying to figure out, and I think Robbo's trying to figure it out too. I was listening to the presser.
His stats on the weekend weren't good.
Weren't great at all. Especially when you got a guy like Billy Smith comes back. He has 17 for 182 and Joey gets 6 for 33. So
he's right side centre, right, Joey?
Joey's left. Joey's left
centre.
He's left centre. Yeah. It's yeah. So I think there's obviously been a lot of pressure on this kid for a long time, and there could be some validity in this, and I think maybe Braith's right in the sense that they're not looking to move him on, but maybe they're trying to give him a little kick up the bum and get him going. Well,
just say if it's true or not, and you're Joseph and you're young Joey, and you know they're trying to get rid of you. They want you to go. This is not a good thing. He probably won't come back to the game.
Well, yeah, so that's a great point. So on that,
like I've got another year here. Yeah, I'm not playing the best football,
but it's only been 2 or 3 games.
Been two games. We're not going good as a club. We're not going that well as a club. Playing out of position, and you want to get rid of me? Yeah, that's where's the loyalty there? Where's the loyalty there? And when you know there's no loyalty in the game, you do what you want and you fucking hold grudges. You know what I mean? So, like, just say if he does go to Union now, I doubt that he will come back to the Roosters. That's the thing.
That's interesting.
And
a lot of us would have thought he would come back for sure, right?
Everyone's thinking he's going to go over there, play in the World Cup, and then he'll come back to the Roosters, and he'll keep going there and there and there and there and there. If this is any truth to it, and he thinks the Roosters are trying to go, okay, we wouldn't mind if you went. He's not coming back.
Change his mindset, wouldn't it?
He's not coming back. He's not coming back to the Roosters. He might go somewhere else.
Yeah. They play the Panthers this week. Interesting game to watch.
Yeah, it'd be good. Panthers are one of the best teams in the comp.
Yeah. Going head to head with Stephen Crichton on that right edge. He plays right edge for the Panthers. So it'd be interesting to see what the reaction is like from Joseph. But I will say that Nick Blightus has come out and says we have no plans to release him at this stage. The final say in recruitment is always down with Robbo. So I thought those are interesting comments.
I think The Roosters,
not yet.
Roosters
at this stage, sorry, and then also recruitments on Robbo. So it's almost like
Roosters are
Robbo, this is your call.
Roosters are a great club. And they look after their players, like especially they've been trying to get SUAALIII since he was fucking 16 years old. Now they've finally got him. They're not going to. They surely aren't going to judge him on 2 games. They're not that dumb.
Yeah,
and they know what sort of talent he is.
Correct.
You can't play.
And he's going to be.
He's not 10 out of 10. He's 19 or 20 years old at the moment.
He's still 20. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, let's just play it out here normally. And I think the media. This is a media fucking beat up. You know, until I hear quotes from fucking Politis and Robbo and that, and of course they're sticking up for him. You know what I mean? Because they love the kid. He's a great kid. He's one of those kids that you want to coach and you want to play with. You want in your team.
Yeah, I'd love to play next to him.
Do you know what I mean? So all this stuff just because he's playing a couple of bad games and because he signed with Union, and it's been a big drama for the last month since he signed.
Yeah, it's great advertisement for Union. We just keep talking about it.
Well, now everyone's talking about Union. No one gives a shit about Union 3 years ago, 2 years ago,
4 weeks ago.
Yeah, now it's like this guy, this
SUAALIII signed
the CEO is going, yeah, we've got hundreds of millions. We'll earn 100 million over the Lions thing. We'll earn 100 million over the World Cup. They're not worried about money, are they?
Hamish McLemmon,
yeah. The McLemon's just saying whatever he fucking wants.
Yeah,
but,
he's got it, right? He's PVL's.
And he's good because PVL's coming at him and he's like, oh yeah, fight fire with fire. So, you know, I don't want to lose SUAALIII to fucking Union now.
Yeah.
Let him play his contract out and he can go whenever he wants. And I think he's being trialled by media just because he's played a couple of bad games and it's not up to his standards.
Well, people in the NRL media weren't happy when he made his decision, right?
Yeah,
so now you get an opportunity to double down on it.
Exactly.
His form hasn't been the greatest.
The only way SUAALIII can get through this is if he starts killing it.
Yeah.
And then no one else can no one's got a chance to say anything against him. So when you're not playing your best, this is when these pricks come out.
Yep. The only way to turn around, Penrith this week.
Mate. Kill it.
All right, let's get into round 9 review. Round 9? Fuck, this competition's
10,
going
11?
quick. Is it 10? No, it is. It's 10 was Magic Round. Still haven't marked
11?
it out.
Oh, no, round 10. Yeah.
All right, OG, let's get into round 10 review. Kicking it off with your Dogs. We were sitting up in the corporates watching this with the
great Terrence Lamb.
The OG Barber. The Bulldogs, close game. I agree with Cam Ciraldo after this game. Mace was watching it live. It was back and forth there for a little bit. Got a little bit closer than you'd like for a Raiders fan, but I thought Raiders were always pretty comfortable. Even Cam said the scoreline flattered them.
Didn't dictate it.
It flattered them in the way. And some good performances for sure. Again, we keep talking about it. This is almost week to week now. Corey Horsburgh finished with the game with 48 running metres, the most of any forwards on the field, 4 tackle busts, line break assists, an offload, 26 tackles.
Is he playing good?
0 misses. And Ricky said after the game that he could have played 80 if need be. So,
he's improved his game.
Is he an Origin bolter, OG, for Queensland?
I was about to say that. Is he a Queenslander?
He's a Queenslander.
Fucking oath if not New South Wales.
Yeah. Would you reckon New South Wales wouldn't pick him?
No, I know that what the selectors are like. They wouldn't. We've got a lot of forwards, but 100%.
He'd be in calculate. I've seen. I think Billy's
Horsburgh.
Billy's come out and said that he's definitely in and around the mix.
Well, he's playing his play in there. Like what? He's not doing anything wrong.
He's been Canberra's best for the last month.
Easily.
And they're on a little win streak now. Also, shout out. We give him his flowers on his first game back when they got the Broncos, but Jared Croker, he's just rock solid. You can see, speaking of scoring tries, like when he scored his try right at the def there and all the boys getting around him.
Just suck with, we just got off to that really bad start.
Yeah.
Like first set of 6, you know what I mean? They ran, 60, then put a kick up.
Yeah.
Fucking Rapana just scores.
Yeah.
Like, that's...
You've got to start game.
Like, fuck!
How many teams have... Does it feel like, obviously the competition is, it's so much closer, but I'm sort of seeing this across the board where teams just are coming out and just like starting really fast. Yeah. And if you miss the jump, teams are putting on a try in the first 5 minutes. Yeah,
that Tomoko, Rapana, their whole forward pack was good.
Yeah.
They were good. They played good, but we nearly...
Thereabouts.
We nearly come back. But
Averilla's in good form for you. And Karaz did another Braden Birds. He looked like he was hobbling. And he's still
he just come back from a grade 2.
Yeah, he's probably still 2 weeks away.
What an effort from him to even like strap up and play. That's how tough that kid is. We're just a little bit off the pace. I thought we were a good chance to get Canberra, but like Canberra they come out of the blocks quick. We end up coming back, but we just we're just chasing our tail the whole. The whole game. We've got a lot of grit. We stay in games. We're tough as hell. We don't give up. You know what I mean? But like, it's just you can't give those guys that quick a start. And they got Tarpanay and Big Papa, Horsburgh, Elliot Whitehead, Hudson Young,
Dogs. We've been saying this for ages.
Sulo, Gula. You know what I mean? Like they've got big boys that they don't stop, man. Then you got fucking Jackie White and then Tomoko and. They go all right, man.
Well, that's the thing. They're
never strong and they're physical.
Yeah, they miss a bit of polish with. They're not going to outskill you. They want to go through you.
No, like Fogarty does. He kicks well. He tackles good. He gets to the right spot. Yeah, exactly. They're gonna stay in most games, and they've got an attitude. They're not scared of anyone.
They are. They're not scared.
They're not scared of anyone. No. You're not going to really out physical them.
Are you? Does it? No, it probably doesn't. I was going to say with Jack White making his decision over the last couple of weeks, does he think he starts to second guess it when you start to go on a run like this? Because he's probably looking around and going, "Did we have the team to?"
What if they win it this year?
No, I think that'd be perfect. I think
then he could go and then I reckon they'll be happy.
Yeah,
Ricky will come out and go, "I didn't mean it."
Yeah,
but mate, I don't think they'll be scared of many people. If they can keep that same sort of team and go on a bit of a run, they're definitely going to be in the 8. They're a good team. I rate them. I rate Hudson Young.
I honestly can't say definitely with anyone. I think week to week,
who knows?
Last
they could
week,
easily go on a 4-game losing streak.
Cowboys were done for me mentally. I was done. Put a line through them. Roosters were a true contender.
Yeah.
Now I'm half worried about them. Raiders, they'd won 3 in a row, but they were close, and now that's 4 in a row, and they're winning in the same fashion. I'll probably get behind the Raiders now, and then they'll have a stinker next week. This competition's so good, mate. It's
anyway, our boys, we're at the Warriors this week.
Yep,
we'll
big game.
Preview that on Thursday, but we just can't give those guys. We can't give teams like starts like that. It needs to be 0-0 after 20.
Yeah. All right, the second game of Friday night was my team, Mace, or our team. We both fucking Sea Eagles greats. Sea Eagles versus the Broncos lost 32-6. Tale of two sort of teams at the moment.
Yeah.
Sea Eagles are obviously hampered, busted up, struggling. Tommy Turbo comes front of mind. And Broncos bounce back like they needed to. If people are starting to second guess their credential with some of the wins that they had, they obviously get dusted by the Rabbitohs last week. They bounce straight back. Why? Obviously, there's big in. Payne Huss is back.
Mate, 270
metres. The story's again Tommy Turbo, Mace. We were at the game. He's just not himself, is he?
It just sucks to see him like that.
Yeah, it does.
I hate it.
Yeah.
People, if you do yourself a favour, go and YouTube his highlights of 2021. It's the greatest year any rugby league player has ever had. And if you fucking got a problem with that, you don't know rugby league.
Yeah.
Better than JT's, better than Joey's, better than like Jared Haynes, all these sort of guys who had these phenomenal, the Ben Barbers and all that, and he only played fucking 17 games.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Hainsey
phenomenal.
Hainsey had a nice little run for, less, but like it was obviously historic because, they come from nowhere. But what Tommy put together.
Mate, look at this. But have a look. You got Flegler 143 metres, Payne Haas 217, Capewell 102, Ricky 95, Carrigan 163. Like Selwyn Cobbo, he's the best winger in the comp.
Well, I want to get this one up, mate, so we can watch it. This is the most concerning. So obviously, sorry for you if you can't see it. So the beauty of his run in 2021, Mace, is he saved as many tries as he scored. So look at his position. He's obviously, that's not a bad stride here, but
Nowhere near it. Yeah.
Tommy in 2021 puts him into fucking row 3.
Yeah.
And he just couldn't square up and, he just didn't have the confidence to sort of rip into
peel
it.
right off.
Whereas that could, honestly, and this is at the highest regard, and this is how highly I think of, that could be Greg Inglis and Tommy in 2021 found a way to, turn that into a result or more of a contest. So people have been talking about the intercept, how he, wasn't able to load up and go after him. But for me, that was one of the more concerning things with Tommy.
Yeah.
Mate, it sucks, and I hope it doesn't feel like I'm beating down on him because I played with Tommy.
No, we love Tommy, mate. I just want Tommy to be like.
But Manly are kidding themselves, like playing it down like it's not an issue.
Why the fuck are they like? Why do they keep playing him? I know he's what is it, 80%?
Yeah, yep.
I reckon it looks. It's not even that. 75%, 75%. Like, I don't know why you do. I don't know why you do this to one of your players. Of course, you sometimes you got to take it out of the hands of the player, right?
Yeah, because Tommy's not going to sit.
He's not going to sit, mate. He's the highest paid player there. He's the captain. I mean, he's not captain, but he's pretty much the captain there, even DCE.
Yeah,
he's the future of the club.
Captain.
He's the future of the club. He's the most highly respected player there. He's probably he's easily their best player. Like, have a proper talk to the guy and say, mate, have fucking 6 weeks off.
But do you think there's obviously, all right, so he's tough as hell. He wants to play. He keeps trying to fight through it. Is he sick of hearing the noise potentially too? Miss a game, sit out 2, comes back.
So we had that 6 weeks overseas, right?
Yep.
And he got back to some sort of like,
I think it was 2 weeks.
Yeah, just 2 weeks.
Yep.
And he got back to some sort of, felt good, right?
Yep.
Felt good. Still doesn't mean he's back up to that level of NRL.
It took Latrell about 6 weeks last.
So he needs another month on the sideline doing exactly what he did. Don't go to America. Just come there, just take a break and just build your hamstrings, do some sprint training, all that kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, do that. Give him another month off.
Yeah.
Like, fuck it. That's very selfish what they're doing. Even playing him round 1. Why are they playing round 1?
You did say that at the time, and people obviously thought you had your Bulldogs hat on, but it makes so much more sense now. I think he just got back. They had the bye round 2. So that's another 2 weeks, 3 weeks before he plays. But they're still selfish. They're not caring about Tom Trbojevic at the moment over there. They just care about winning games. There's a part of me, I've got no allegiances to fucking Manly at the moment at all. I will just say there's a part of me that thinks it's Tommy wanting to play and just wanting to get back out there too. And not being able to have that tough conversation with Seabold, it almost has to come back to him and just go, mate.
Who's part of their high performance?
I don't know
because Donny Singe ain't there.
No, Donny's
one of the best.
Donny's gone. They've got Jim Dimmick and Flano as part of their assistants. I wouldn't know
but they're coaches.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think.
So they're going to coach, but they're not the high performance. They're not the S&Cs. They're not the people that are looking after him, the physios, all that kind of stuff that are looking after his body. The coaches, of course, they're going to want you to play. We want Tommy to play. We all do, but I don't want Tommy to play at 75%.
He's not even close to 75.
He's not even that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not making him look good. Like, get him back to at least 90, 95%. Then you're talking. Then Manly will be a whole different team.
I think they're a different team if he's even back 80. Where if that's, I know I pointed out an issue between me and you, mates, that not the punters could have seen, but go back and watch the replay. But if he can't stride out with Cobbo at full pace on an intercept where he'd give him some time, that one doesn't concern me. The one that concerns me is the one where he got to a position where he could square up Cobbo, and I don't question his toughness one bit.
No.
It's mentally, I don't think he felt comfortable.
Off.
He couldn't put himself in that position. So that's the one that's concerning for me. That's the one I'm worried about. But enough on the team that lost and got hammered.
We don't need to send these kids to America. We've some of the we've got some of the leading fucking physios and all that kind of stuff and high performance people in Australia. He just needs to go off campus and get out of there
and focus on the area.
Focus on that. Do you know what I mean? You have to go to America. They don't know more than us. You know what I mean? Like, there's people around here that know a lot.
Yeah, he's got a good run sheet, that Bill Knowles. But at the end of the day, I think it comes back to it's very hard to keep, just say the physio goes over him, learns what Bill Knowles has been doing. When he comes back, How long can you do that for? You got video sessions. You know what a 4 weeks like at an NRL team. You got video. You got recovery. You got field
Preview,
you got
review,
speed. You've got all these things you got to do. Like, at what point can you fit that extra?
He just needs
work in?
not to be around Manly. He just needs to go do his own thing.
Would you just let him train by himself?
Get his body right. Don't worry about it, mate. He can play. He doesn't need to do fucking review and preview and weights. He needs to get his body right.
Captain's run?
Because your best ability is availability. He just needs to have a break for about 3 or 4 weeks. And they should have done that after the adductor injury or whatever, groin injury 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have played until. Well, that was 2
weeks ago. So he shouldn't have played in this game.
A week before Origin, if he feels good and feels amazing, then he might be. Because he'll get picked in Origin. Gus will... Not Gus.
Well,
Freddie will ring him and go, "Are you ready to go?" And he goes, "Yes," and then they'll pick him.
But would that be negligence again in part on Freddie, right? Because you're critical and deservingly so of Seabold and Manly. If you're Freddie, do you take that?
Or do you go, "I'm going to pick Campbell Graham"?
Do you say, "Mate, get fit and we'll use you because we could use you for game 3 if it comes down to a decider"?
Because it's different because of the fact that he's going to be playing right centre and he doesn't have to be coming off the back fence all the time.
That's a good point.
That's the difference. He's not going to be fullback. He's not going to be running 250 metres. He's not going to be running over 12K, 15K. He's going to be probably running about 6 or 7K.
Yeah.
Play, like at right side centre. So he can get through that easy.
Yeah.
He's a big bars. He's going to he still hit holes.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He can still fucking in and away. He can shake and bake, all that kind of stuff. He's a good defensive player, so he's not going to be in the back line. So if you're going to put him in set, you wouldn't put him at fullback. No. If Teddy was injured, you're not putting him at fullback.
Still not putting him at fullback. Put Trell back there.
You're fucking putting someone else there.
All right. Speaking of fullbacks who are in good form, Reece Walsh, the Broncos. We just talked about Manly for so long.
He's fullback for Queensland.
You think so?
100%.
Over KP?
Fucking easy. KP be 14.
Well, Benny Hunt and Harry Grant. They've got some good decisions coming up.
What would you do?
I think I'm going Kalen and I'm just holding off on Walshy. I reckon.
No, he's killing it. Bro.
Hear me out, Mace.
Yeah.
2 decisions. Kalen Ponga and Jerome Luai have potentially Origin 1 to show, and then deservedly so, they both get first cracks at those positions. So the 2 that are putting pressure on are Nico Hines at 6 for the New South Wales, and Reece Walsh is playing unbelievable at fullback for the Broncos. And KP, he's had his concussion issues and missed some footy. Knights didn't get to play this week.
That's what I'm
over at Bali. But I think that's a good. I reckon that's a good thing for KP because KP come out unscathed in 2 games. Mind you, it was awful performance across the board for the Knights against Parramatta, but he gets a week off. Queensland better than anyone. You played against them for all those years. They stick by. Yeah. We were with Nate Miles. We were with Nate at the Caxton.
If KP's been playing fullback all year, then I'm like, yeah, put him in there. He's been playing 6. He's missed games. It's a different level. It's a different amount of running.
Level 6.
Exactly. It's a different, like where Reece Walsh, he's fit as hell. He's on everything. He's fast. He's fit. He's nailing fullback at the moment, where KP's been playing in the line.
Walshy's problem is he's trying to do maybe too much. And if that's your worst criticism on him, where he's trying to overplay a little bit too much, then
I don't mind that. I don't mind that. But it's different. You need Kalen Ponga playing at least just say the last 8 games playing fullback.
Yeah.
But he hasn't been. So he's not that sort of player who can go from there straight to fullback. It's a different level there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's the only reason why I'm going to go with Reece Walsh.
Okay. I think KP gets game 1 and then we'll see. And I think Jerome will also get game 1 to prove himself. So it'll be interesting for both of those guys if they're named, and then what the results like for the losing team, because they'll hold the position if either of them wins. So I'm interested to see how that plays out.
Interesting to see what they do. Just say they pick Reece Walsh at fullback, right? And then, as you said, Ben Hunt.
Well, Kalen won't be 14.
I know. It's one or the other.
And Walshy won't be 14 if Kalen plays fullback. It's one or the other.
No. It's one or the other.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to head towards Reece Walsh, man.
Okay. We'll see. I'm intrigued.
Even though KP,
it's good for us.
But the only difference is because if KP's been playing fullback all year, I'm picking KP. I am because he's tried and tested it at fullback and he's been outstanding. Reece Walsh hasn't played before.
Okay, so if KP's playing 6 all year and he doesn't get knocked out and miss those 4 games, and he's playing 5'8", but he's played every game. Are you still happy to play KP, or would it be
No,
Walsh?
I'm still picking Reece Walsh, just simply because he's been playing fullback.
Yep.
There's a different, like the fullback at the NRL is different. Then it's in another level when you get into Origin.
Yeah.
I just think,
no one gets bashed more than a fullback in Origin,
mate.
right?
It's fucking hard.
What about for the Broncos though? Serious contender still.
Yeah,
Good bounce back.
proper.
Payne Haas freak.
They're back 5, man. It's on Cobbo, Tony Staggs.
I actually felt like they could have won this game by more.
Yeah, they should have.
Like
They look dominant, mate.
It was quite
dominant.
comfortable, wasn't it? It's like they didn't really have to get
Nah.
a second or third gear.
They weren't worried about any of the physicality from Manly weren't there.
Broncos have got a good little run coming up. I think we're going to find out a little bit about the Broncos coming up, and I'm looking forward to it. So just before Origin, Storm this week. I don't think they've beat the Storm in fucking like 5 or 6 years, I've heard. And then the Panthers next week. All right, we're about to see what the real Broncos are coming up, because Panthers, they haven't been crazy hot, which we'll get to, but
That'd be perfect.
actually, we're going to get to them right now. Panthers beat the Warriors game 1 of Saturday, 18-6.
What do you think?
Another a really physical battle again from a Warriors team.
Yeah, you expect that, but
I just feel like the Panthers are just they're feeling the full effects of winning back-to-backs, and it's like
triple back-to-back.
It doesn't matter. They play the Tigers.
They lost one grand final. They're still in there.
Yeah, back-to-back grand final,
mate. And big runs in like most of the team. Just say 10 and playing rep.
Yep.
I mean, it takes its toll.
Origin and even the Islander boys playing internationals like the Spencer Linus of the world. Moses Leota played for the Kiwis. Fisher Harris, obviously.
Taruva's in there.
Taruva played for Fiji.
Harris Sorensen played for New Zealand. Isaiah Yeo, Australia.
And look, I'm not taking credit away from the Warriors. I'm not taking credit away from the Tigers the week before. I'm not taking credit away from the Knights. But when you name those 3 teams on paper, really, they're not close to Penrith, but just they've looked tired. It's going to be a massive juggling act for Penrith and Ivan Cleary in particular this year to
get through Origin
to make sure that they're peaking at the right time.
Yeah, well, that's why
they're going to miss. So who's going to be taken out?
That's when
Toto will go. He'll make Origin 100%.
Yep.
Crichton
50-50. 50-50.
Luai, yes.
Cleary.
100%. I think he's 100%. And with Nate.
That's about it. And Isaiah Yeo.
Isaiah Yeo. Liam Martin, if he comes back and he's fit.
Yeah. Fuck.
So he's got the bad hammy. I think he's got another couple of weeks out as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think he'll need more than one game.
So you think, because he was Australia's best in the final last year, do you think...
He hasn't played.
I think he's got the runs on the board. I think he's got the runs on the board. I think if he's fit, plays a game for Penrith before they play Origin, then they play him.
We've got a fair back row.
That's true.
Cam Murray. You got Kaloa Matangi, you got Olakuatu.
Kaloa Matangi's injured. Angus
Olakuatu.
Crichton's playing off the
Angus
bench.
is playing.
I reckon Olakuatu's the lock out of all of them.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So they got, Cam Murray, got Isaiah Yeo.
This is a bang fest though, man. What about Spencer Leniu? We're sort of saying
that run that he made, just like fucking, this is passion that he showed after.
This is said with the most ultimate respect, and I was saying to you this while we were watching the game, OG, at the pub in the Caxton on Saturday, that he's just like a touch below Tomalolo for me in a lot of areas. Just a little bit smaller, just a little bit slower, just a touch.
Not as big, just not as big.
Not as good footwork by a margin, because he does have sneaky good late footwork. But fuck, he's a weapon, man, and
runs so hard, man.
He's getting paid accordingly next year to go to the Roosters.
Deserves it.
And he's been good for him. Obviously, the OGs, Warriors gave it to him, man. Warriors were here. They started on fire. Adam Fanua-Blake's been on fire, man. He doesn't get the respect that he deserves because
he's playing for the Warriors.
Because he's playing for the Warriors.
It feels he's playing for Roosters or something like that. It'd be different. He plays massive, 67 minutes. He's one of the premier props in the game. He always has been. He was just injured for the last couple of years.
I had him as my premier prop probably last year, even in the bad Warriors team, and it's just like Payne has taken it to a whole new level.
Yeah, it's Payne and then fucking light years.
Yeah, and at this year there's a big gap, and then I think it's Attenborough.
And what he has improved, because defensively he wasn't as like he was taking a few little sort of shortcuts around the ruck, if you understand what I mean. But 37 tackles, No, how many? 35 tackles, 2 misses. That's great. Like his work rate, because I'm saying like just he was mainly based on offense, big meters. Like he'd fool everyone with being 180, 200 meters, easy like that, and then he'd make 20 tackles and a couple of misses and that. But the emphasis on his defense this year has been fucking outstanding, because even we played against the Warriors and we thought we're going to spot him up.
Yeah.
He fucking bashed us.
Yeah.
So like he's really improved that, because once he improves the defense, him and Payne Haas are the best props in the game.
Yeah.
Because Payne Haas's work rate is
I think
outstanding.
So. Yeah. I think
Fanua Blake. So Fanua Blake, if he can work on his defense, become that 95% effective tackler, make all the right decisions around the ruck, he's a top 3 prop.
Yeah.
Fucking
I reckon Payne, we probably on the same page with this. There's a gap, and then I think it's him and Tino.
Yeah.
Potentially side
Fisher
by
Harris
side.
when he's fit.
And then I reckon Fisher Harris and maybe like
Leota.
Tarps. Joseph Tarpany just on
Big
that.
Papa played. Pup's still going, even though he's
Pup's
getting a
still
little
got
bit
it,
older.
man. Pup's still got it.
Killing.
But he plays that very. He's been the dog. He's been the dog of dogs for 15 years. He's happy to just be number 2 with Tarps getting more carries, and he just puts his polish on it. I just like the fight in the Warriors this year. Yeah, they lose another close game, and like just Shawnee Johnson, the energy that he showed at the back end of the game on a kick chase. He put a little kick to the corner, chased down, I think it was Taruva or Dotto, and caught him in goals, and then he gets up and he's pumped. They're losing 18-6 or maybe 12-6 at the time.
He
just looks happy at the moment.
It's their defense. It's their defense. And guess where the coach was last year for the last couple of years?
Defense coach at
Penrith.
Yeah. Or was he attack coach?
It doesn't matter.
Cam would have been defense,
part
right?
of the coach.
Yeah.
He's part of the coaching system, so you're learning everything, aren't you? So he's pretty much cut and pasted what they're doing at Penrith and doing it at the Warriors. You can tell by their systems. I can see how they're doing. They're working for each other. They do all the little things good. That's why Aiden Fanua Blake's defense is way better.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't been coached how to tackle. He's had some coaches over there that weren't really, the emphasis wasn't really on defense, was it? For him. It was just run, and just get through the game, get around the ruck.
Even at Manly.
Yeah, Manly. He was all offense, but now he's both, and that's why he's probably one of the best props in the game.
Speaking about coaches that are doing a good job at the moment, the Dolphins head coach, he goes right, 900 of the best. 900 of the best, OG. Congrats to Unky Wayne. They get the dub over the Sharks in a boil over. The Brisbane teams, or the Queensland teams, mind you, are on fire this year, and it continued all the way in the Magic Round, all 4 teams winning. The Dolphins beat the Sharks 36-16. I just want to give some flowers to some guys that, not household names, and were probably on the back end of maybe going to the Super League if the Dolphins hadn't.
Who's coming to mind?
Sarko.
Ewan Aiken.
Asako.
Asako looks nice.
Well,
fucking kicks the ball.
He hits it sweet, doesn't he?
So good. Yeah, those two, they're the main ones. I thought Ewan Aiken would have been done by now.
Yep, same.
He's killing it. And Asako, I thought he was on the scrap heap as well.
Let me throw one more name at you, and I know you love him already. Who?
Mudders?
No, not Mudders Wallace is Mudders Wallace. He's going to tour. He could be tall around and be that guy. Not Mudders Tafada as well. Connolly Lemuelu.
But he's only 24, but.
Yeah, 23. No, but it's just like he's like a little gem that they've found. He's been at the Cowboys for 3 seasons. He's played 20 games over 3 seasons at the
he
Cowboys.
Was at the Dogs.
Was he at the Dogs as well?
When he was a young kid. Yeah.
That hurt you. He's been unbelievable, mate.
Tessie New was good being back there.
The
Hammer.
Yeah, the Hammer. Yeah.
Fucking better than I thought. I thought he was just real quick. He's footy.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I thought he was just lightning quick, and then they brought him on for some off the bench, and he'd start on the wing. And no, he fucking can play. Katoa can play.
They've got 2 mainstays that are going to be franchise players. Katoa and Katoa was nice, man. Oh, every time I watch him play,
better and better, man.
Even when you see again, remember a couple of weeks I was talking about does he? You sort of want him to put a little bit more out there, but you're does he have it in his bag? And another little thing. So I like the little double pump that he's got to Hamaso. He does that kick in the Knights game, and then you're he looks like a strong runner, but does he have that game breaking? Oh yeah, he supports through the middle. off the back of Jeremy Marshall-King, who's been outstanding again.
Outstanding.
He gets toe-to-toe with Will Kennedy on like a little draw and pass and dusts him. Does it easy. Did it easy. So...
And that's hard. He's quick.
Fucking oath.
Cody Nikorima.
Cody Nikorima's
finally some consistency because no one's doubted his ability. When he hit the scene, it was just like, fuck, he can play.
He's just a little bit small, but...
Yeah, but like his skill set is huge. I mean, now he's finally... And that's what Wayne Bennett does to these guys.
Yeah.
That's what he does. He installs belief. He trusts them. And they go out there and they give that extra 10%. That's why people go, why does Wayne Bennett get the best out of these young average players? Well, first of all, he's never been average, Nikorima. He's always had a lot of talent.
Yep.
Even like Ewan Aiken.
Yes.
Knew he's going to get the best out of Ewan Aiken. Osako, Jeremy Marshall-King. The Bromwich brothers, you're getting... Felice Kafusi was hitting like a fucking truck.
Oh, he's a gun.
Do you see how he... Oh, my God.
Felice is a gun.
Tom
Gilbert. Sorry, Mace, just be quickly on Felice before we move on. He's had a couple of like... Because you hold him to you put him to this standard. When you do what you do at the Storm for so many years in Origin in Australia, you're like, Felice, last year, I reckon for Kenny, Jesse and Felice would have looked themselves in the mirror and go, it wasn't our best year, across the board. But all of them are playing fucking unreal this year underway. And I'm happy for them too because they copped a lot of criticism about being, older guys going up there and, not being marquee players. Fuck, they're playing like it. Give me those three marquee players over a lot of fucking supposed marquee players in the competition.
Jesse didn't even play.
Yeah, and Jesse didn't play in this game. No. But I'm just talking about in general.
Oh, yeah, I know. I thought he did play. So if I was Farmasili.
Posa. He's one. It's not SUAALIII. It's like it's a little bit of it's a different pronunciation. Do you want me to get Farmasuli or something like? Let me.
Farmasuli, yeah. Isaiah could tell he's 18 years old, eh?
Puasa Farmasuli.
Tom Gilbert, Animal.
Tom Gilbert. Remember, mate, I put him in Origin a couple of weeks ago, and you're a little bit.
Well, he wasn't playing good because he was giving fucking penalties away all the time.
Yeah, he's a dog.
Shit.
He's a dog. But Sharks. All right, let's get to the Sharks.
I think he's going to be in Origin.
Well, you know one thing when I was watching, just the game too, that sums up the Dolphins this year was just their effort at the end by Jared Wallace was the one who sort of slid in at the end and held the ball up. 36-16, game's over, 40 seconds to go, but they want to defend their line, and that sort of sums up where the Dolphins are this year.
Can they make the 8 and have a real good crack?
Again, mate. It's like it's look at. If you look at the jam there.
Ladder.
So Storm played 9-1-5, Titans played 9-1-5, Roosters played 9-1-5, Raiders played 9-1-5, Seagulls played 9-1-4, Dolphins played 10-1-6. Fuck, it's going to be so close. Sharks disappointing though.
Yeah.
After
last week, I just thought they were going to kill everyone. They still, oh man, I just can't believe it. Do you reckon they missed ULE?
Yeah, for sure. Because have a look. Strong play from their
Kafusi, 41 metres. Royce Hunt, 97 metres. It's not good enough.
It felt like they were defending for a lot of stretches.
Especially when you're playing, Oregon only played 28 minutes and Royce Hunt played 29. That's
they need
weird.
More, yeah.
That's weird because, who played the minutes here? Hazelton, 27. 25. Wade Graham, 23. Jack Williams, 29. Finucane, 38. And Finucane
I thought you were looking
38.
at fantasy points there for a bit. They're full on sharing the workload, hey? It's like, so obviously Britton Okora and Teague Wilton didn't come off, so Wado would have played through the middle. And Brayley didn't come off. So, yeah, they're all 30 to 40 minutes. You want a couple of them to step up.
I want
in place because I've got a massive rap on
at least 55.
Yeah, I've got a massive rap on Oregon Kafusi too, so I was hoping he would step up in Hamlin Ueli's absence.
41 metres he got and 97. Obviously, the Dolphins dominated the possession and stuff, but you expect them you got to leave one of those big boys out there because the bench ain't big. You know what I mean? Hazelton, he's a big boy, but he's still a rookie pretty much. Wade Graham's not big. Jack Williams ain't big.
He's not big and mobile.
Not big. But yeah,
Hazelton's huge, but he's not big and mobile. So he's pretty straight up and down. You can handle it. He's nowhere near like a Hamlin Ueli or a Nous, even though he's their height and weight.
Their back five was still outstanding with meters and stuff like Talakai 242, Mulatalo 107, Ramian 136, 164 for Katoa, 153 for Kennedy. That's where they're getting their meters from.
Good little wake-up call for them. I reckon the Sharks will bounce back after this. All right, the game of the round, which I thought was going to be game of the round, but it ended up being a bit of a clinic. Trell Mitt, Cody Walker. You know what? Shout out to their middles too. They've been really good. Jai Arrow's come back the last couple of weeks. Totola's now back playing consistent footy after missing some games at the start of the year. Their rotation, Tommy Burgess as well.
Tom Burgess was an animal. Absolute animal. Look at his numbers. 46, 15, 155 metres. That's fucking ridiculous. But he was running so fucking hard.
They're the team to beat, OG.
Yeah, I agree.
Rabbitohs is the team to beat. What part of their game sort of don't you like? Maybe their back rowers, a touch.
Yep.
A touch. They don't have with Colin Matangi out, they've got Chi and Jacob Host who are solid.
He's been going good.
Hostie's been going good, but they're solid without being stars. But you can't have stars across the border. You've got to have certain positions.
You need workers, mate.
Same with with Tane Milne and AJ is obviously AJ, who's one of the best finishers in the game. But when you look at their core, you got Latrell, Cody, Lockie, and Cookie through the middle with Cam. So they'd probably have the best 5-man spine in the competition right now. Right now on form.
How slick do they look when they go?
And then their middles. Their middle rotation with Jai Arrow now, who's gone back to the middle and stayed away from the edge. Yeah. And then you've got Totola, Hamesale, Tommy Burgess. I reckon that middle's on form is as good as it gets right now as well. So spine and middles are flowing.
When you throw Kaloa Matangi in there, that's probably the only one you're going to get. Then you just got to sort out where do you put Sele, where do you put Totola, what do you do with Jai Arrow, what do you do with Tom Burgess? Tommy's
the X factor off the bench. They love him playing off the bench. I think so too. But you got to figure. He changes games when he comes on and pumps them, like Nels does on the opposite side.
He's fucking animal, and he's running harder than ever. But it's what do you do with your starters? I think Sele's a good player. I think Totola's a good player.
Yeah,
you're just going to probably have to put
Jai starter.
Michael Cheekham. You probably won't get in the team because
I'd start. I think their best team will be Kaloa Matangi on the right, Host on the left.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Jai Arrow starting in the front row.
So Cheekham's going to be...
Cheekham will go back to the bench, maybe in Jed Cartwright's spot. And Jed Cartwright will because he's flexible.
Liam Knight's only played one game.
Yep, Cheekham's capable to rotate around a little bit as well.
Play centre
row. Campbell Graham and Isaiah Tassel locks. So I'd start Jai Arrow with Tavita Totola, Hamaseli and Luke Burgess coming off the bench with Chi as a swingman.
Yeah.
And I'm probably missing one more, Liam Knight. He won't play massive minutes unless he's required.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. But that's the thing. That's why these guys know that they're going to have a genuine run. So that's why they bring the best out in each other.
Yeah.
Every week they're fucking battling against each other. That's what happens when you're in good sides and you're like, fuck, we're a chance to make this.
Yeah.
I want to be in the 17.
Correct.
So every single game that you play, you got to fucking bring something because if you have 2 bad games, even if you've won and you got someone coming back from injury, you're gone.
Yeah. This is another game too, Mace, where the Rabbitohs, I thought the scoreline flattered the Storm. I thought the Rabbitohs were dominant.
It looked like a 38-6 game.
Storm play the Broncos this week. Are you start to worry a little bit about the Storm, or are they just like a clear cut, second, third tier sort of team?
6th, 7th, or 8th position.
Even the Prez and Jerome couldn't get anything going, but they're on the back foot for most of it.
You can't, man. When they're on the Rabbits, you are fucked.
And if Nels isn't skittling people, then there's not much really left that.
And they got him.
Yeah.
They got him.
They were physical, weren't they?
So I think...
especially if you see the way he played last week.
I think the Storm, obviously they can make the 8, but like the Rabbits, those backline moves are that slick. Latrell, even Tass, AJ.
It's Clegg, isn't it?
Fucking the other side, then you got Campbell Graham and like Tane Milne. It's fucking so good. It is so good.
Speaking of not so good, the Tigers versus the Dragons for the Battle of the Spoons, Battle of the Dirty Mergers, 18-16. Just want to give a shout out to Bulla, aka the Dream at the back with the try-saver of doom. But it sort of lived up. I thought actually there was some nice moments throughout this game. The the Tigers find a way to win another close one, although they probably should have lost it. It would have been a tough way to go out too. When you think about like the ball that was thrown to Benny Hunt and he kicks it forward, but
I was happy for him.
Hands would probably do there at the end. You know, when it got
Still
to Moses Sully, draw and pass would have done. I just like happy for the Tigers middles.
Yeah.
They've been battling, and you know, doesn't matter how good you're going or the stats look for you. At the end of the day, if you're not winning games, you cop a lot of criticism. But I feel like
even like guys like Clem,
Papali'i's been good.
Toy
for the last 2
Kamanu,
weeks.
you know what I mean? They've just been like ripping, you know, Appy Coruscant, like they've just been trying so hard.
Brooksy and Wakeham have been good the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, Wakeham's been outstanding.
He has been good, hasn't he?
Now they won, and they've won 2 in a row. Like Tupou's been going good. Tommy Talau come back. Stafford Toa, Noah Faluma, Dream the Dream Buller. Mate, I'm happy for him. You don't want to see teams get lose 10, 12 in a row. They lost what? They lost 7 or 8 in a row? 8 in a row?
They did,
now they've won 2
in a row,
6 points.
Oh, they lost 7 in a row because they had a bye.
But it gives them a bit of hope. You know, they're on 6 points.
A little
so
bit of
the
hope.
Dragons are on 6, the Bulldogs are on 8, Cowboys are on 8, Eels are on 8. You know,
They play the Rabbitohs this week.
yeah, so they'll stay on 6.
Yeah, but I will just say some good. I'm just happy for Appy Coruscant as well. He's been, you know, throughout that period, he's been trying his guts out.
Yeah.
I think for the Dragons, flipping over the Dragons, I think for the long term of this team, they've got a Jaden Sullivan obviously made a massive impact when he come on the field, and Hunty moved to dummy half.
What do you think about that?
I think that's his best position for the Dragons right now, and the Dragons moving forward. Like they've got to see what they've got here with Jaden Sullivan and Talatoa Mone and Tyrell Sloan, who all played junior footy together. Like they've got a combination.
They've got to understand that Ben Hunt's not going to be there for 5 years.
Exactly.
He's going to be there for another 1 or 2, and they've got Armoni and they've got that Sullivan, who are the future of the club.
Yeah.
Ben Hunt runs that joint. He gets like 50 touches a game. Armoni gets like 6. We need to see what this kid's got, because I know he's got a lot, and he's probably like, even against us last week, you know, he doesn't get the lion's share, nor he should.
Yep.
But he deserves the fucking ball every now and again.
More. Yeah, and with Hunt going to dummy half, it really opens up their play through the middle, because
he's smart, mate.
He's got so much good ruck awareness as well that he opens it up a little bit more for the middles to get not crazy big line breaks or play made shape. It just gives them like little 50-50 half tackles, quick play the balls.
Yeah, because he engages the markers and all that kind of stuff. And like, you got DeBellin, you got big Blake Lowry, you got some fucking big boys there. Jack Bird's in there. Like they're fucking really physical. They're a real physical team, and they need to play like that.
Yeah.
And Hunt can probably do that for him.
And they don't have anyone that can create with the ball as well.
Leave Moses like, I don't know, leave
As
Moses
14.
on the 14s.
Yeah.
Because like you can't put him at, what did he play on the weekend?
He played 9, started the game, and then
like,
they come off.
He just didn't really do that much. You know, I think he can play 14, he can play anywhere.
He's a good swingman in this day.
He's a great swingman. So
play fullback,
they just need to get
centre.
they need to get the balance right. They haven't got the balance right.
Yeah.
You know, Zach Lomax, is that the right decision dropping him? Not sure.
Yeah, I wonder how he played on the weekend. We'll have to check into that by the time it gets to preview and whether he's back.
You know, Sloan is he the answer at fullback?
We'll see.
Can you put Zach Lomax at fullback?
No. They tried that a couple of years ago and that didn't work. I think Zach's suited to the centres. I don't think he's got the... I just want to see those 3 kids together for at least 5 games. Because Dragons aren't going to win the comp. If anything, they've got to fight to not fucking get the spoon.
Yeah, Dragons just need, like with Sloan, they need to take their time with him, but they need to like put him in positions to impact the game.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of coaches, I know for a fact, a lot of teams kick to him on the full because they know like he ain't the fucking Carmichael Hunt sort of style of fullback.
Yeah.
He's going to run straight through. He's got more finesse.
His instinctual play with the Dragons is where they'll get the most out of him with the combinations, where you think back to like when he first played the year before he got dropped last year. It was like they didn't have to talk, but Amone put a little kick back on the inside for him. So
yeah, he just needs to play.
They need to find out if that's the combination for first grade,
because he's not that sort of dude who's going to run 200 meters. You know, like just say if you're going to kick to the left, and you want him on play 2.
Yeah,
because a lot of like look what they do now to these like smaller kids, because he's not big. They fucking hit. They hold the ball. They get underhooks. and they fucking maul and they drive the kid about 10 metres back.
That's why it's harder for him too, because he's not only very light, he's a taller light.
Tall. That's what I'm saying.
So when you got the Dylan Edwards, he's got
levers. He's got levers, and he's not the strongest kid. So these other guys, they go down there on purpose. So they need to somehow.
That's why Taruva's so hard to tackle. He'd only be about 80, 85 kilos, but he's so low.
Reece Walsh is little. He's still fucking. He never gets dragged back.
Yeah, good bases.
So there's things like that they need to work on. He needs to work on his game. Needs to find space. You know, he can't be running into the biggest blokes because they do that on purpose. The players do that. They'll get in front of you. They won't hit you. They won't hit you hard. They'll fucking get in there, grab the ball. Someone grabs that underhook, bang, grabs your leg and fucking drives you back.
Yep.
So he needs to somehow combat that, because this is the fucking game. Because if he can't do that, he won't play first grade.
All right, just quickly on the Tigers before we finish up. I think Stafford Ty and Tommy Talau have got to be their first choice centres moving forward for the rest of the year.
Gun, man.
Yeah, he's going to be a player, eh?
Mate, he's just been a couple of injuries. That's about it. He's dad, old Willie Talau.
Willie Talau.
He's a legend.
Yeah,
close mate of mine. Played a lot of football with him. So yeah, it'd be good to see him. Is it again an ACL last year?
Yeah, he needs to string some games together.
It's going to take him by the end of the year to get back to where he is, and then next year hopefully he fulfills his potential.
Yep. All right, moving on to the Roosters versus Cowboys. We spoke a little bit about the Cowboys at length, sort of with our dog of the week, Ruben Cotter. And Roosters to a degree with the Joseph SUAALIII news.
Yeah.
I will say, obviously the conditions played into it, but the Cowboys, both teams have got to play in those conditions. You'd assume that the Roosters would have been better suited to it too, actually, because they just played the Warriors the week before.
Yeah.
The physicality again in this one because the weather made it really enticing.
Do you think it took it out of him? The Warriors game a little bit?
Yeah, people don't realise that. When you play on a heavy track like that, that does play a part.
And what day did they play the Warriors?
They played the Warriors on
Sunday.
Saturday or Sunday last week.
I think it was Sunday.
Yeah, because if the Warriors have played in quick succession, and so have the yep. Yeah. That's
so
right.
they only had a 5 day turnaround?
Yeah, but 5 day turnaround. Yeah,
so
same.
that's fucking hard.
But yeah, I think if you've just tuned in, go back and listen to sort of our Ruben Cotter chat. And we talked a little bit about the Cowboys in and around then. And then with the Roosters, some of the stats that the boys tossed up and where they're at the moment. I think we talked about that in the Joseph SUAALIII one. Yeah. So let's finish off with the Titans versus Eels, 26-24. Our dog of the week, Kieran Foran, backs it up again, OG. Got 2, should have had 3.
Hey, what are you doing, Pereira?
Furious at the Rook. So after the game, he goes, he didn't trust my speed on the inside. And
he didn't want to do it. Didn't want to make him do a hammy or something.
He's lucky. He is lucky he scored that try.
That back five's been outstanding. Jaden Campbell, Pereira, Brian Kelly's been outstanding.
Philip
Sami. Is he a chance for Origin?
Well, he's bounced back because he had a down year last year.
Yeah.
And he was playing Origin the year before that.
I think he's in good nick. Selwyn's a lock, right?
Yep.
Selwyn's straight in. And Xavier Coates?
I don't reckon he's a lock.
Sure.
I
don't think so, but he's been there before and he's...
Corey Oates, his name would have been in around it.
Yeah, but he's been injured.
I reckon Phil Sami will be definitely in Magic Murray Talangi.
Nah, yeah, you're going to go.
He'll go left.
Tuolangi, yeah.
Yep. He'll play.
But their forward pack, Fodawaker, Fasul Malali, Fafita, Joey Stimson, Isaac Liu's been amazing.
Isaac Liu
is the dude.
So I'd say over the last couple of years... Last year, Titans would have been the most underwhelming players for the Titans in the last few years would have been Isaac Liu coming from the Roosters and Phil Sami, and they've been close to two of their best. They've responded because you can't be up every year.
And the thing is, they need to figure out how they play, right? You got to figure out how Isaac Liu plays. Like when he's on the left side of the field, he loves going a little bit over, kicking across, squares back up. He'll either hit the front guy or he hit the guy at the back.
He loves to hit the front guy.
Yes, exactly. So he loves doing that. So if you're a lead runner, genuinely run the lead for him.
Yeah.
Because if you don't genuinely love lead genuinely, they just come up and they slide off out the back and then they just fucking go to the sideline. It's easy. But that's why Isaac Liu's so good at that, because he does hit the front guy, so he keeps you guessing. So they've figured it out.
Yes.
And plus I think he was injured last year.
He was a little bit.
He was. So like he was.
But he got dropped as well.
Yeah, now exactly. So he had a few little things going wrong. But he can play. This young kid, Chris Randall, can play. Tino's a beast. Fafita's the best back rower in the game.
Mo Fodawaker's been unreal.
Fodawaker's been outstanding. Kieran Foran, Tanner Boyd's been killing it. Like, what? That's a good side.
Well, you know why? So we talked about it last week, Dog of the Week, Fozzie, and it was hard not to make him my Dog of the Week this week.
Yeah.
But
Can't
when you see Fozzie sitting in the sheds, you've played with him, Mace. You've shared a locker room with him, and you see him fucking ice all over his shoulders. He's fucking, 32, 33 now in his fucking 16th season, played at the top of his game, and he keeps turning up for you like he's turning up for you. You better fucking pull your finger out.
This is why.
That's why they signed him.
This is why we said he'll change the fabric of that club. And he'll get the best out of David Fafita.
Go back and check the
Guess
tape.
who the fucking killer is this year?
David Fafita.
David Fafita. Because he's looking at Foz going,
you got to lift your game when
motherfucker's
you're
like 33.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Playing with like a torn fucking calf. He's playing with his shoulders buggered. Like, and he's still about that. And like Fafita's like, I'm 22. I should be destroying everything. And he fucking is. And I'm so happy for Fafita because everyone was the knives were coming out for him last year.
Yep.
He didn't get picked in Origin. He'll be the first one picked in Origin this year.
Ooh, I don't know about first. I think
Definitely not first.
I reckon Cam Munster might be first.
He's going to. I'll go back. I'll digress. The first back rower picked.
Felice Kafusi?
Nah, he's going to be. Oh, yeah, they're going to be. All right, they'll be 1 and 2. Like,
Okay.
Fafita and whatever comes out first.
Yeah, okay.
But
okay.
Those two will be first.
Well, I had Jeremiah Nanai over the top of him, but no,
And
he's jumped.
No, he's jumped it, mate. The only reason why Nanai got picked last year is because Fafita was playing so bad, and Nanai was killing it because Fafita was he's supposed to be that guy.
He is supposed to be that guy.
He's supposed to be, and he is that guy
Yep.
now.
Yeah.
So
I wonder
I'm happy
what this Khan Pereira kid. I wonder who he plays for. Is he a Queenslander?
Fucking most probably.
It's a like. So his name's Alo Fiana. Khan Pereira.
Might be a Maori boy. Pereira?
No, there you go, bro. Aboriginal, Sri Lankan, Pakistani,
Go fuck yourself.
and Samoan descent. There you go.
That's a mix.
Yeah, it was in the name. You can see it in the name.
He's one of like the smoothest movers I've seen for ages. He runs like Fox. Just real lineal, but maybe a little. I'm not sure. Like
a little smoother.
Just a bit smoother than Fox.
He glides a little bit more than Fox.
Yes, he does.
Where
Like
Fox goes.
Fox is a little bit more aggressive with his upper body.
Yeah.
But Pereira, once he's through, he's a beautiful mover. Beautiful mover.
And that's a beautiful mix of heritage there as well. Aboriginal, Sri Lankan, Pakistani, and Samoan.
God damn.
No wonder he can move. He's fucking,
He's fucking good. I bet he can dance too. I bet he can dance.
He's got some rhythm. So, yeah, he could.
He'll be in Bollywood soon.
85, 85 kegs, 184 centimetres.
Yeah,
a lot of growing to go.
Build, man.
Yeah, he's going to be a real
And I reckon, and he's tough too.
Yep.
So, 2 years he'll be playing Origin.
Oh, born in Lismore, New South Wales.
Yes, New South Wales.
Ooh.
We've got too many. We'll have to wait.
But he's eligible to represent Queensland and State of Origin.
Oh, God.
This fucking Khan Pereira's just gone in fucking ebbs and flows for us.
King Khan.
Just like his chip and chase on Fozzie.
Fuck.
Parramatta Eels. Fuck, Dill Brown. They lose, obviously, Moses HI.
Dill Brown looked good.
Dill Brown was good, man. Dill Brown's been playing.
He's been their best.
His last couple of weeks.
Mitchy Moses has been down a little bit.
Laney's back.
Mitch Moses has been down a little bit. I think he's probably like just taking a little bit of a back seat towards letting Brown do everything.
Yeah.
Their forwards are all right. I mean, they just got... It was a decent game, this one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Bailey Simonson was good. Mike Acevo was good. Gutho was always good.
Three of the best. Dominant down that edge.
Woodamoo Greg. Sean Lane was good.
Yeah.
Like...
See, look at Laney's stats, and we talked about this 3 weeks ago. 21 carries, 21 hit-ups for 172 metres. And then, therefore, what happens to Dill Brown? 238 with 19. When he's playing shorts of Laney or hitting and playing down that edge and then going again, then it makes him very dangerous.
Yeah, I thought was outstanding. Ryan Madison.
He was very good off the bench.
Fuck, he was tough.
He's very good off the bench.
Played tough.
Yeah.
He played really tough. That's the best game I've ever seen him play. 23 hit-ups, 251 metres.
Origin.
No, he's not going to play Origin.
Shit.
Nah, there's too many back rows.
There's too many, yeah.
But I mean, if they picked him, he'd do a job. He would. But we'd have to have some injuries. Junior Paulo,
Eels, man,
numbers.
could be running out of time. Yeah, always putting up big numbers.
Sean Lane still got good numbers. Jermaine Hopgood was all right. This is good. I mean, you got to give credit to Titans.
I get 100%.
The Eels are fucking good. Their numbers, all these numbers are like fuck, you killed it. Why didn't you win? Because the Titans got his.
Exactly.
I mean, they
right.
just played better. Like, they executed. They fucking did some really good things,
It's
man.
a competition, mate. Eels and Sharks looked unbeatable last week. Yeah, they played the Cowboys and the Knights respectfully.
Yeah.
But they looked unbeatable. This week they come out and they play, all right, Titans, probably should get the job done. Favourites? No. And Cowboys, they've been struggling all year. All right. They go and do a job fucking on the Roosters. It's fucking
weird, eh?
The competition's so weird this year and it makes it so good. We talked about a few of the games coming up this week, but I can't wait to get to it tomorrow night with you when we do the preview. See you at the preview.
All right.